What is probability? For example, what would happen if I rolled 2 dice 100 times in a row? What would be the probability and possibility of getting different or certain numbers? What would be the total number if I added all the numbers rolled on one dice together and found out the mean average? Or if I added the total of 2 dice together and find out the mean average of that? Today we're going to put things to the test to see if the probability and possibility of rolling different numbers on the dice is randomised. Or to see if it's fixed. Does it eventually balance itself back out? Sort of like a pattern. Or is it randomised? Who knows, that's what we're going to find out today. And yes, that is a toilet, we're going to put a planter in it. Deal with it. Hello, welcome back. It's me, Jacob Devlin, the JXT63. And today I'm going to be rolling 2 dice 100 times in a row to see if rolling a number on a dice is a randomised probability or a possibility. And yes, that is Mickey and Minnie Mouse wallpaper on the wall. Deal with it. Right, so this is the sheet that we're going to be using today. I'm going to show it fully on screen now, and this is how it works. So this sheet involves splitting a table into 2 sections, one for dice 1 and one for dice 2. Dice 1 has been dotted with the green and dice 2 has been dotted with black. This helps us keep track of the dice and stuff. This section is for the dice number that is rolled for dice 1 and this section is for the dice number rolled for dice 2. This bit is to add up all the dice rolls for dice 1 and this bit is to add up all the dice rolls for dice 2. This bit is then for the dice mean average of that number, and this is also for the dice mean average of that number as well. This is for the overall total of adding all the dice rolls from across dice 1 and dice 2 together, and then obviously this is the overall mean average of that number there. And this section at the bottom here is to find out the probability of rolling different or certain numbers for both dice 1 and dice 2, and to find out the mean averages of that and to see if there's any patterns with that as well. Let's do this.
And I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come 1 in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. I'll be yours. Life lessons come 1 in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come 1 in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come 1 in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.
And there we go, we have it. I rolled 2 dice 100 times in a row.
Too sure, but one day I'll be yours. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this
Now it's time for the results.
too sure, but one day I'll be yours.
Right, it's time for the results. Yes, I've actually calculated the results for this, so just bear with me. This is going to be a bit of a stretch, I would say. So yeah, anyway, here's the results. So this is the sheet, and you can tell that I've highlighted it and wrote some extra bits down at the bottom. I've actually gone to full lengths to kind of understand what this is all going to entail, basically. Sorry if I keep looking over there, it's just I keep looking at my handsome face, so yeah. So let's get down to the results. So the results are Dice 1, which I highlighted green. Over 100 rolls, the total number that was rolled was 359, which in average was, you obviously just divided by 100, was 3.59. So you ran that to about 3.6. If you round to the closest biggest number, that's 4. Dice 2, which I coloured in black, the total number added across the 100 rolls on that dice was 346. Obviously, divided by 100 to find the mean average, that was 3.46. Obviously, you round that to about 3.5, round it to the biggest number, which is 4. Total number that was added across both dices, that came up to 705. Divide that by 100, 7.05. Obviously, that doesn't count to probability because there's not more than 6 numbers on one dice, so that doesn't really equate to probability. That's just an extra math that I did on the side. So realistically, that doesn't actually matter, so you can just shove that to the side. That's just an extra fact if you want to know that. So cool. Now we get into the actual probability stuff. So on dice 1, 1 was rolled 12 out of 100 times. 2 was rolled 17 out of 100 times, 3 was rolled 18 out of 100 times, 4 was rolled 20 out of 100 times, 5 was rolled 19 out of 100 times, and 6 was rolled 14 out of 100 times. On dice 2, 1 was rolled 19 out of 100 times, 2 was rolled 9 out of 100 times, 3 was rolled 17 out of 100 times, 4 was rolled a whopping 29 out of 100 times, 5 was rolled out of 14 of 100 times, and last but not least, 6 was rolled out 12 or 100 times. So between dice 1 and dice 2, the number 1, the difference was 7. Between 2 and 2, the difference was 8. Between 3 and 3, the difference was 1. Between 4 and 4, the difference was 9. Between 5 and 5, the difference was 5. Funny that one. And between 6 and 6, the difference was 2. And the average difference that I calculated was 5.33. Obviously, that doesn't really kind of count as a good bit of math because that doesn't equate to probability at all. That's just another extra bit of math that I did just on the side. So if you want to know that, that's that. Just shove that to the side. So if we look at that, we can see that across those rankings, 4 showed up the most and 3 showed up the third most on both dice. But actually in terms of probability, 4 and 3 were rolled most of the times out of the 2 dice. Both either on one individual dice or across 2 dices. Judging by this, it seemed as if the dice favoured 4 and 3 more so out of any other number. But even though across over 100 times, the dice slowly started to balance itself back out. Because as you can see, on dice 1, most of the numbers are pretty similar, and on the second dice, the numbers are a bit more randomised on dice 2 than dice 1. Although, across dice 1 and dice 2, there's 3 numbers that show the same amount of rolls for a specific number. So it seems as if the dice love the number 3 or the number 4. Obviously, if we go back to what I said before about the actual average, it was 3.59 on one dice and 3.46 on the other dice. Obviously, you ran them up to the biggest number, that's 4. 4 seemed to be the number that was rolled the most times. It seemed eventually that the dice would balance themselves back out. it seems like the dice favour the number 4 and number 3. So I guess the probability is that you're probably most likely going to roll a 4 or a 3. So there we go. The highest number that was rolled was 4. 4 was rolled the most times. So judging by this test, it seemed that the numbers that were rolled the most were 4 and 3, more so 4. So, based out of this probability test, with rolling 2 dice 100 times in a row, it seems that if you're ever going to roll a dice, the chances are you're most likely going to roll a 4 or a 3. But that's only based off this test. I could do this test again and the results could be something completely different. But who knows? So yeah, hope you all enjoyed, hope you're all good. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, and this has been Jacob Devlin, the JXT63, codename Devil. Peace.